What's up, guys? Daniel Gutierrez here with the LB Muscle Show from the LBDaily.com, live at the 2016 Mr. Olympia, and I have a titan in the industry here. I've got Dave Palumbo. How are you doing, Dave?
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, certainly. Pleasure meeting you as well.
Absolutely.
Certainly. This is actually the biggest reason why I came to this event, so I can actually meet you. Get
Really?
you on camera. That's right.
Wow.
So, not to meet Kevin Levrone, even though we just met him. Got a shot with Kevin Levrone.
He
about
probably
a minute
tells
ago.
everyone that, but that's all right.
No, not at all, not at all. You've done a lot of amazing work. I've actually been a big fan of yours since listening to you back in the other show you had with John Romano.
Yeah.
That other, organization.
That other
you're with.
organization.
That other organization.
Marcus Welby.
Exactly. So I've evidently been a big fan from the get-go. You've made a huge transition. You've actually overcome adversity even after your bodybuilding career, and you've actually built your own program. You've got the RxMuscle.com going on. You've got Species Nutrition going on now as well. Now, tell us a little bit about the shows that you have on RX Muscle as well, because you've got a big number of shows.
Well, when we first started our RX Muscle, we decided, hey, let's do the best contest coverage out there. So I worked with muscle development, and I wanted to prove that I could do better than them, and we did. And then for years we did. We did for a couple of years, and then I said, you know what? My real dream was always to have my own TV station, to do original programming. Because I remember watching American Muscle magazine and the MSG show that they had about muscle sport. And I said to myself, you know what? I want to do original programming so the guys at home can sit and watch bodybuilding programming, interviews and debate shows. And I didn't know how the freak I was going to do it.
Right.
And so I said to myself, I got to find someone who can help me do this. And then I ran into Johnny Styles, who had TV experience, and we started doing videos, and then we figured out how to live edit, and then we decided, and then obviously the technology presented itself where we were able to live stream shows, and we started doing it, and we're still, to this day, we're doing it. And then I met Sid Faruqi, who works with me, and we started developing original content, and now we probably have the most progressive original content on board, and I'm always a believer in asking people the questions that you want to know. What do the fans want to know about this person? What makes this person interesting? And I try to go places where people are uncomfortable so that they come out of their box and they open up to me. And it seems to be working. People love what we're doing. The subscribers on our YouTube channel are through the roof. We're coming out with new programs all the time, and people just seem to like everything we're doing now. And it's like a critical mass. It's built and built and built. And I think people appreciate that I'm not afraid to put out the real information out there. I'm not afraid to talk about drugs and supplements, and I'm not afraid to ask people the questions that we all think about because it's not politically correct.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. You should be very proud of yourself because you've essentially built your own network. You're almost like the Netflix of bodybuilding, as I like to call it.
That's what I want it to be, and I'd like to make it grow more. It's just it's hard because there's only so much time in a week, and I find that when people seem to want to have me involved in whatever program that's on there, but it is what it is, and like I said, everyone watches the internet on the TV set now. So
Absolutely.
I go home and I watch the shows that we do. I watch stuff that I like on YouTube, and if I can give people original content and that they're going to enjoy, and it's going to help them to learn about their bodies and be educated, then I do my job.
You're absolutely right, because you're creating brand new content. You're actually talking about the things that we like to listen to, things that we like to watch. We're programming it ourselves, so we're not being forced to watch whatever's on, on
and
television.
then I have that show I do every week at Ask Dave, which is basically whatever the fans want. So
Right.
I never see a question until it's asked for the first time,
Okay.
and I just answer. So everything you see is completely spontaneous. I don't know what I'm going to be asked because they're asking it live.
Okay, perfect. Is that your favorite show to do on the network?
It's the most exhausting show because it's nonstop. There's questions at me, and I have to just think on my feet. But I know the fans like that show the best.
So now you have a huge background in the industry. You've competed for many years. You were one of the top level NPC competitors out there. Now you also had some medical training as well. So you're not just reiterating information that you heard from other people. You've got a lot of training as well.
It's good when you have in the trenches training and then you have the science background so that you can integrate the two. Because usually people have one or the other, and I have the unique ability to integrate all that science with practical experience. Because you can read a book about how to be a tennis player, and I say this all the time, but until you swing a racket, you're not a tennis player.
You're absolutely right.
And you can swing a racket, and be a tennis player, and if you don't have any knowledge of how the sport and back and spins and
The mechanics of it.
the mechanics of it, then you're not going to be a great tennis player either. So you need the integration of the two, and I think that's something that gave me a unique niche in our industry.
Absolutely. And that's what made you so successful as a trainer and a coach as well.
I think so. It's a lot of work, but because I like what I do, it doesn't feel like work.
Absolutely. Now, another great show that you guys came up with was the Guru show that you have. That show was absolutely awesome. I was really impressed.
Guru Mania. We do
Guru
it every
Mania,
year,
that's
yes,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, that show was absolutely awesome. I think it did better this year than it did last year.
Well, Chad Nichols is a great guest, so having him on, he's like us. He's not afraid to say what's on his mind.
Absolutely.
And look, Iron Debate is a great show. especially when people don't agree with each other. And it's
Absolutely.
hard because a lot of times, we get guests on that we all kind of agree a little bit, but when I get guests where we're not necessarily agreeing, that's where it creates adversity. That's where we get that heads clashing, and as viewers, we love to see that.
I disagree with you, Dave, 100%.
Me too.
I love that. That's awesome. So just to out-call on this show, now, who do you think is going to win 2016 Mr. Olympia? Now that you've seen Kevin, you've seen everyone
Well,
in
I've
person.
gone on record as saying Kevin Levrone. I'm
All
helping
right.
Kevin Levrone. I'm going to stick with Kevin Levrone.
Okay, awesome. Dave, I really appreciate you taking the time for the LB Muscle Show. It's really a pleasure to meet
My
you.
pleasure.
Thank you so much. It's awesome.
Good luck with the show.
Likewise. Thank you. Appreciate it.